So we've seen a few times now how filling can be used to help copy formulas and functions, and they'll provide an updated version, but sometimes you don't want that. You don't want your references to actually change, such as if you just had one cell that contained a tax value that you wanted to multiply everything by. So just like how we talked about with HTML, Excel has things called absolute and relative references. What we've done up till now have been relative references because the values in our cells have changed relative to where we started. Just like with HTML, if you have an absolute reference, you're going to point to a spot in the spreadsheet and say, get that information from this spot and only this spot. The symbol for creating an absolute reference is a $sign, and there's going to be three possibilities. If you place the $sign at the front of your cell reference in front of the letter, it will make it so any reference that you fill will never leave that column. If you place it in front of a number, such as B $15, it'll make it so it never leaves that row. And if you place it in front of both $B $15, it'll make it so it never leaves that cell. So we'll try it out with a quick example. In A15, we'll write tax rate. B15 we'll write 0.05. A13 we'll write taxes. And B13 we're going to write equal sign. B15, which is our 5% right here, multiplied by B11. So this value times this value placed here gives us 6.97. The problem is going to be if I fill this to the right, it's going to try and take 75 by a blank box, which gives me 0, and 79 times a blank box gives me 0 again. Two ways I could handle it with this example. I could just fill this 5% across, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to add an absolute reference to this formula here. So if I don't want this to ever leave the B15 box, I will need to put a $sign in front of the B, so it never leaves that column, and a $sign in front of the 15, so it never leaves that row. I do not want to change B11 because I do want the second value it multiplies by to change to these boxes as I fill it. So $B $15 times B11 will still give me 6.97 here. But now if I fill this value, I'm getting 75 by 5% for 3.7 and 79 by 5% for 3.9. Absolute and relative values are definitely important, and you will need to know how they work for the lab test.